Alrighty, boys and girls, here we are again with another single-player episode. Last time we just had trimmed all these trees, and we were going to start hauling them back. Since the last video, I have created a new skidder, which I called the Axel Skidder, meaning it has 3 axles. This guy's a lot more heavy-duty than the other one. The other skidder's still, nice. I don't know if I sold it. Did I keep it? I think I'm going to get rid of the other one. I'm going to sell it. We don't want it. Or maybe I already sold it. No, I didn't. There we go. We're going to sell the other one. We are done with the other skidder because this guy is a lot more competent and works quite well. It also looks pretty sweet too. But this guy has a locking script that I put inside the claws. So it should, well, not should. I know it does a lot better. So we're going to kind of show this guy off today. The other thing I changed because I'm really annoying with the pivot turn is this one has wheels that turn on the front now. So it just turns left and right, as opposed to having that middle pivot, which I'm sure some people will hate, but that's, it just works a lot better for people who don't have a steering wheel, which I don't use anymore because I just don't have the space for it. So this guy, similar to the other one, the only thing this one does, it doesn't tilt, it just goes up and down and spins. Very simple design. So, I'm going to try this out here. So this one, if you squeeze, you can pick it all up kind of like a crane, and then hit L, and it locks it all in place. Now that load's not going nowhere. Sometimes you get one on the top that's still a little bit loose, but that's no big deal, it stays there. So we're going to go lay this into here. It's kind of similar to the clam bunk skidder, but now it just does its own thing, so it's kind of nice. And we're going to unlock it, and then just drop her down. Bloop! I think people are really going to like this for hauling, so it's a lot easier. A lot easier than the other one used to be anyway, for sure. And I was dicking around with the grapple loader, or the grapple saw loader again yesterday. I don't know if I'm going to use that. It makes such a mess. But I have another project coming here that's, well, I guess I could spoil it and tell people what it is on this video, because you're probably never going to know what it is. It might even be out by the time this video comes out, who knows. But I've sanctioned the building of a slasher trailer with an excavator head on it, or excavator top on it. So hopefully that'll be able to do the cut to length a lot nicer. I don't know, we're gonna find out, but certainly gonna give it a shot anyway. Let's see if we can scoop this big pile right in the middle. Holy crap, that's a lot of trees. And we'll lock her down. Now the reason I put the locking script is just to ensure everything stays where it's supposed to stay, but I don't know, I find it a lot more useful. I made this thing pretty heavy, but it still has the front end bounce a little bit. But I mean, look how many trees that is too. That's a lot of trees, so naturally you're gonna get a little bit of sway. But it's so much easier to back up to piles now without that stupid pivot, auto centering and throwing your logs around. And just drop her down. I don't know, just skidding finally feels like secure to me now. Before it was such a mess doing it, and I don't know, now it just feels good. So I'm gonna stick with that. Do I really want to do a skid for those 2 logs? Not really. I'll grab this pile here. So today's gonna be skidder day for a little bit while we clean up all this stuff. What I should have done, or what I might still do, is go around with the I suck at talking when I'm doing things at the same time. Go around with the grapple saw loader there and straighten out these piles so they're easier to grab. That's probably what I should do. That way you get some nicer piles. So I might do that. I might do that right after I drop this this load here. So yeah, this guy's pretty cool. I like him. And like I said, for people who don't like that stupid pivot, I don't like the pivot on any machines. I did it with the Laterno too. I took the pivot out. And I'm sure some people will be like, eh, it's not realistic. But you know what? Nothing in this game is realistic anymore. It's so, you gotta work with what works, right? And that's what we're doing. We are doing it the way we can. So let's take this guy for a little gander into the bushes. Gander into the bushes. And we're gonna grab these two here, and we'll drag them up to another pile while we're straightening them out. That way we don't have to do a skidder haul for 2 stupid logs, because that's just stupid. Stupid because it's stupid. And that's the story, and I'm sticking to it. Alright. Oh, there's some on the top too. And we'll get it. We'll deal with it when we get over there. So this grapple saw loader has now become my toy for sorting piles. That's what I'm going to use it for. It'll be my hoe chucker, so to speak. Now let's just go give that end a little... I guess I don't really do this. I decided I'm not going to use the grapple saw for making these cut to length, because it's going to be too messy. It just makes such a horrible mess for my logs, and then they look like crap. So what we're going to do is we're going to process all of these. It's going to take time, but we're going to do it. What I would like to do, though, is get them all bundled up in the same pile, so that when we come in with the skidder, we can just scoop and go. Scoop and go. There we go. Oh. Slidey, rolly little guys, eh? I think it's because we're on a hill, too. That probably doesn't help none. You can put these together here. Let's bring this one with us, because it's already kind of a big enough pile there for one skidder go. Yeah, should begin. I got lots of neat little projects coming. That skidder worked out really well, though. I was happy with that. And it looks pretty beefy. Looks good, works good. It's the name of the game. Just trying to keep everything nice and tight here. Just easy on the gas pedal there. There we go. That one's good to go. This one's probably good to go, but we'll just give it a little touch-up squeeze here. If I can get my claws in there. There we go. Just a little touch-up. And that pile's ready to go. That pile doesn't look like it needs too much work up here, but we'll tighten her up as well. Like I said, this is a good chore to do, just to keep everything kind of nice and together. And squeeze this over here. Oops, where are you going, little guy? Did I say you could leave the party early, sir? I think not. I just want you to bop over here. Bop right into there. Bop, bop, perfect. Alright, now let's crawl out of here without hitting any of these logs and we'll be golden. So we're just going to leave this grapple loader out here. It'll be our test subject for when we need to move things around. There, now these piles should be nice and groovy for picking up here. Oh, that one actually slid a little. Oh well, we'll make it work one way or another here. The big beefy skidder. Oh, jeez. Alright. Let's go grab this pile as much as we can. See if we can get it all in one scoop here. I don't think so. Just trying to make sure it doesn't go under that board there. Oops, I think a couple did. Hold on here. Lock her in midair and get her out of there. Maybe we'll drop it on this side of the pile this time. Oh, Jesus. That's a heavy load right there. And we're just gonna back it in here. We should be able to drop it nice and straight right here. Kind of half-assedly on a hill as well, so makes things a little bit difficult. I love that feeling when they drop it, so satisfying. Yeah, you must have cut down quite a bit of trees last video. Quite a bit of stuff hanging around. We missed just that one tree. No, that's okay. We'll come back for that. Or maybe we'll just grab it with this grab or something. Oops. I know what I'm doing. Or at least I'm gonna pretend like I do. Alright, so before we lock it, we're gonna see if I could drive right over this one here. And then we're gonna drop it and pick it all up again. I want that one on the side. Where are you going, little guy? There we go. Kinda got him pressed against the bulwark here. That's okay. She'll go. She'll go. We'll drop him back into this pile here. Right about there is probably good. Bloop. Turn that one in a little there. That'll be good enough. Oops. Good enough. Yeah, so that buck saw idea I think will be quite nice for doing cut to length anyway. I think it'll make a nice nice addition to the team. You just got 2 more piles, that's it. We got, and then we got like 7 hours of processing. And one thing you could do is just change these all into longs, and then change them all into longs, and then just cut the tops off with the buck saw, with the grapple saw. Just go wing, 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 wing. Cut all the tops off the ends, and then you can just load them on there straight on trucks like that. I don't want to drop these. I guess we'll just push them here. I should probably push this pile up a little bit. There we go. Bloop. See, my frame rate's starting to drop a little bit, so I'm thinking she's probably, oops. Let's see if we can push these up a little more. My frame rate's just dropping down. There's too many trees in a pile there. Oh, there's quite a bit of trees though, so that's understandable, I guess. Got one more grab. And then we'll see what happens. I think we should probably just switch to long logs for a bit until we get all this cleaned up. I think we'll use the short log plan when I get the forwarder in here. Yeah, so it's kind of exciting. I got some new fun machines. I just want to make a whole bunch of wacky machines that are fun and work good and do all the whole kit and caboodle there. So we're certainly going to try. There's not a room to drop stuff here. So now the real question is, do we want to, do we really want to make this all shorts, or should we make it longs? I don't know, man. It's a lot of logs to make into shorts with a processor. That'll take hours, I bet. Well, maybe not hours, but maybe an hour. How much time we got left in our video? 15 minutes now, so another 15, maybe 20 minutes. So what are we gonna cut these to, huh? Longs or shorts? I'll hold a community vote. I guess if they're longs, it'll go a lot faster, probably, hey? Not to mention, longs don't glitch out quite as much as shorts, so maybe we'll just do that. Maybe we'll do half shorts, half longs. There's an idea. Let me get some frame rate drops like crazy here, though. Oops. Okay, so 600, 800, 10. Let's do 10s, I guess. Jeez. That's why you should probably have separate piles that are further away from each other. You can watch, as soon as I tap this pile, my frame rate goes to crap. Because it's all the logs interacting with each other all at the same time, and that causes some glitchiness. So if you, for instance, separate this pile a little bit, then it probably won't interact with that pile, and then you might get better performance. It's a big might. I wish these logs just took up less performance, that'd be cool. But, you know, they don't. Probably if you made an engine based around logging, you could probably control the performance levels of stuff a little bit better. But not today, son, not today. Oh, jeez. That performance, though. Oops. Oh, I thought I got her. Yeah, so at least we'll have some longish logs to put on the truck. So 90% of my videos, you're just gonna hear click, 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 click. It's just a top, I think. And hopefully, as we get them processed a little more, it'll be better. Ah. And because of my frame rate drops, it'll make your claws speed up when your frame rate goes down, and then they don't grab the logs properly, so it's kind of a lose-lose. Just kind of cutting these wherever, it don't matter. As long as we get 10 out of it, we're good, right? See, as soon as my frame rate drops when I go to grab, these claws on the end go faster. They close faster, and then they miss the log, which sucks. And the only way around that is to get better performance, which we can't seem to obtain here. Although it would be fun to be able to make massive, huge piles without the game freaking out. Fortunately, that just doesn't happen, man. It just doesn't happen. Ah, my booger. See, in half this time we could have grapple sawed it all and just cut up a big nasty pile. But man, is it crappy loading and crappy looking. And it's kind of crappy keeping it organized too. These little buggers here. There we go, there we go. Perfect. Yeah, the days of processing entertainment. Yeah, definitely got some new interesting ideas for mods. I got a whole list of things that I'm going to be working on here soon. I think we're working on some of the coring equipment. I don't know if you've ever seen the coring stuff, water hazardous. They make some really funky machines, but really gargantuan machines that do pretty high production. So we're going to hopefully work on some of that stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate these piles a bit, give them some space between each other, and I bet you that'll help our performance. If you leave a big enough gap between them, then they won't interact with each other all at the same time. As long as there's a space, then these trees won't engage when these trees don't. If you want, I could show you what's going on here. So watch this. So this is called developer mode, so it lets you see all the physics. So it kills your frame rate in this mode because everything's really slow. But do you see these logs, how they're all kind of like a dark orangey brown? And then once I move my head over, see how they all become bright orange, and then they flash yellow just for a few seconds, then turn off. So basically what's happening is when the game sees a movement near a physical object, it turns on the physics for these objects all at the same time, right? So now they're all interacting with each other. Your processor's going overtime to, you know, tell that this log is wiggling against this log. That's what all these little yellow hairs are. Those are little physical points of contact where the logs are making. But if I stop moving, everything else stops moving and it all goes quiet. Bloop! And then your performance goes back up because nothing's moving, everything's static, right? So the idea that I have is if you move the logs far enough away from each other, see how this pile's active now when I get my head close to it, but not this other pile? And here I'm pointing at the screen, not like you can see my hand pointing at the screen. But you can see the other pile is not active when I'm working, and that means that only this pile will be getting the physics processing done to it. So yeah, if you separate your piles by, like, you know, a couple feet, then it's not usually too bad. And it depends on what kind of card you have, what kind of processor. You might have to limit yourself. I've been trying to find a way to make it so the physics react slower or faster, like turn off quicker. But I think they're setting the engine to that. It's a good idea, the way they have it set, but unfortunately it doesn't last quite long enough to make it work super well. So we're going to do 2 big piles of longs, and then we're going to do a couple piles of shorts here too. So put gaps in your piles if you want better performance. That's one way to look at it, I guess. Ah. And if you're finding your performance are way too high, or levels are too low, then you might need to cut down less trees, man. It's just how she goes sometimes. Which sucks for me because loading is my favorite part, so I always find myself having to do a lot of work just to get to the loading of trucks part of the game. And then by the time, you know, you get a nice pile where you can load 3 or 4 trucks, the game can't handle the frickin' performance levels. So actually, honestly, the best thing you could do is make little piles that are like, I don't know, maybe 50 yards apart from each other all over the place. And then walk around with your truck and your machine and do it that way. That'd be the best way to get performance. That's how I used to do it. I used to go do like forwarding in my other videos in Farming Simulator 2015. I used to do lots of forwarding, where I'd walk around with the machine in the bush and or I'd walk around with this processor in the bush and cut down into piles and do all the processing right there. I mean, there was no use for a feller buncher when you do that, but then you walk around with the forwarder, pick up the pieces, bring them back to base, and I don't know, I thought it was pretty fun. And that's probably why I never saw as bad of performance hits, because I wasn't doing these massive log piles like this. And this game's really terribly optimized. Like, it's still using the old 2013 engine, I believe. I'm gonna separate these piles, they're getting a little too close. Separate them. But yeah, really terribly optimized for logging. It wasn't built for logging. This game was not built for logging. They just kind of added that for fun, to do a little tiny bit of logging, not a lot. And then I kind of went ahead, and several other people went ahead, and we made it very much just logging. And the engine doesn't really support it that well, so don't be surprised when it's not working properly. It was built for farming, looking after a little field, and it runs pretty well for doing that kind of stuff. But once you get down to this heavy-duty physics processing, it gets pretty ugly. I wish they'd make a version that was strictly for logging, where they could somehow maybe dumb down the physics a bit, make them so they don't interact so violently with each other. And I'm gonna experiment with some of that too. I got some ideas for maybe ways to make the trees use less physics but still react well. But we're gonna see. It all takes time, which I'm gonna have a whole bunch of here soon to do this kind of stuff, so. Because if I could make it so that these like reacted better, oh man, that'd be great. Alright, so now we're gonna do this pile. Oops. Ah. Hey. Meanwhile, we've stabbed the tree to shit by now, and there's nothing left that's good on it. There we go. But we will see. Got lots of plans. Always got lots of plans for this game. Gotta keep it fun. Like I said, now that I'm done kind of the main machines here, like they're all working pretty darn well, we're kind of at the point where I get to play with experiments now. So I get to experiment with new ideas, and every day I'm at work away from my computer, I can sit there and plan mischievous ideas for making machines and stuff. It's kind of fun. Alright, so maybe we'll just keep cutting here, I don't know. Just trying to figure out what the best piles, or best way to make these piles is going to be. Man. I wish you would just dig in there a little bit. I wish you could dig into the ground a little bit, actually, with the grapple head. Can you imagine that? Pull up dirt, kind of like spin tires? Oh, man. Then the physics engine would crash for sure. It's just not like real life, you know? Yeah, I can't get that one. There we go. My little trees. You know what? I still like these trees better than the big ones. I don't care what anybody says. These run the best. A lot of people don't like these little medium-sized trees. Everybody wants the big ones because it's easier. That's why. It's a lot easier to load gigantic trees than it is to load these little buggers. That's for darn sure. What do I want to do now? Maybe I'll load a truck up and get rid of some of this stuff. There's definitely enough there for at least one truckload. so what do we need? We need a new long logger trailer is what we need. I still have a few people saying that these are sliding really bad. The trailers are sliding. Like when you load them up, but I don't know, the last couple of videos I've loaded up the trailers pretty hardcore now and haven't had any problems with the V5 stuff, but apparently a few people still are, so I guess we'll find out today, because we're going to load this this trailer up, fill it full of long logs, and see what we can do. Alright, we're off like a herd of turtles. And I think what I'll do in this video is I'll load this guy up, but I don't think I'm going to bring it to the mill, this one. I'll probably be out of time by then. I keep accidentally hitting like the 37 to 40 minute mark on my videos, which I guess isn't a horrible thing, but it's sure takes a long time to upload those frickin' things. I have to leave it on pretty much all night, and then finally it gets uploaded. Which, I mean, it's no big deal for you guys, but well, my wife's trying to watch Netflix, and she's like, hey, why is the internet sucking? Whoops, we're gonna go this way. There we go. Go sailing through here. Maybe not too hard of sailing, but a little bit of sailing. Alright, so now we've got to decide where we want to load this guy here. And I think what I'm going to do is we'll get in that button top first. Set up with him. And then maybe we will load it on the right-hand side. I don't know. What I should do is get rid of this tree, because this tree is just kind of in a bad spot. So tree down. And we'll get rid of this tree too. There we go. Now we're not going to get hung up on nothing. Except for those two trees. There's always a little tree somewhere. Oh, that's good. That's great. I hate when they cut it on an angle, it doesn't sit level, and then they just kind of act aloof. Alright, let's get these two trees out of my directional path here. We should just grab these and put them with the rest of the trees here, maybe. Oops. What's going on here? There we go. Treat it like a feller buncher. Whatever, we'll process them later. No biggie, no biggie. Alright. And this guy, I'm gonna roll over here. Alright. Actually, what I should do is back this trailer, and that's what I should do. Because it's going to be a bitch maneuvering that thing once it gets loaded. Sneak her in here. There we go. Okay, we're even loading on a bit of a slant here. I'm just gonna save real quick before I forget. There we go. I like to go the claw the other way, and I know what stabilizer I'm using. And we'll just gently load these guys up. Nice and polite-like. There we go. We could do all but ahead, or maybe we could swing some too. We'll see here. Oops, shit. What happened there? The whole point of stabilizers is so that issue doesn't happen, but they're not doing their job today. Oops, there's one on the wrong side of the stake there. There we go. Sneaky little bugger. They don't appear to be sliding. I'm sure they're micro-wise they're sliding a teeny bit, but not enough to like screw the load up, I don't think. Let's see here. Oops, see? My head backwards here now. Or I guess we want to spin these the other way, don't we? Hey. Oh, I missed the stake, didn't I? I made a mistake with the stake. In a real cab, at least you can kind of lean around with your head, see, around the edges. This one, a little different. No, everything seems to be sitting pretty alright there. There we go. And then we'll do the same for the front again. There we go. Perfect. There we go, one of those in here. See if we can straighten that out a little bit. Doesn't seem like, it seems like it's sitting pretty good. Like I said, lots of people said they're sliding now, but I don't know. It seems to be good on mine. Unless they haven't downloaded the new trailers, that's a strong possibility sometimes. Sometimes people are using the old trailers, and it's understandable. There's a lot of versions of my mods out there, so it can sometimes get confusing. But when in doubt, just go to the forums. That's why I made the forums, so that people don't get confused. They'll always have the most updated stuff if they just download the stuff from the forum. And there we go, look at that. Sort of like a full load. Good enough for me anyway. Actually, this guy, I should just back over into this corner. That's what I should do. Because then, if I need to load more logs, I can just walk right up there, no problem. How much time we got left? What are we at? Oh, we're at the 40-minute mark already. Oh, jeez. Alright, so what I'll do is I'm going to lock this guy up, and I'll just leave it here in the next video. We will drag it out of here and bring her to the mill. And maybe, just maybe, if I get my ducks in a row, I'll have the Laterno ready, and I can unload it with that, see what the hell kind of mess we can make. Alright, cool guys. Well, we did lots of skidding in that video and got a nice big pile of wood to play with here, so it should be good for the next one. Alright, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time. See ya.